the Philam Live 7's Football League on 5+. And we've got another Sunday of exciting football action ready to get underway here at the McKinley Hill Stadium. Fantastic way to get started, as well as we have the defending champions in the women's division taking on one of the brightest prospects in the division right now, Kaya FC, taking on Outkast in just a little bit. Jingham Lang joined by Claro Manzano for this one. Exciting prospect, as we mentioned, and we've got a great day of matches on the way.
Well, it's a battle between undefeated Kaya and the defending champions in Outkast. So Kaya, of course, pressure is on them to carry on this unbeaten run, and Outkast, they'd like to separate themselves from the pack to solidify their playoff hopes.
Let's take a look at the team standings right now, where Kaya FC are currently at the top of the pile, but the defending champions not too far away.
Again, so the name of the game in this elimination round is to rack up as many points and to finish in the top 8. So both teams in prime opportunities right now, but they'd like to avoid complications moving forward and rack up the wins.
Now let's focus in on the defending champions, Outkast. As we mentioned, they've been starting off pretty strongly as well here in the 4th season of the 7's Football League.
Well, Outkast, you take a look at the recent results, guns out, they are coming off an 8-1 win, and a great way to enter a match like this with much confidence.
Yeah, definitely confidence high for the defending champions, but they're up against a team that has yet to taste defeat, and equally also very high in confidence.
Well, Kaya also coming off a big win over Azuri, so both teams riding that wave of momentum. So it will be a matter now of who stays calm and who wants it more heading into this match.
And this is a showcase really of the women's game in the country. If you are unfamiliar with the players on show here, then this is a great way to get acquainted. We've got national team players from both sides.
Well, players to look out for. You look at Outkast at first. You have some Kyra de Maandal, who has also been in the national team, one of the many players. So she has a knack of making well-timed runs. And then on the other side, you look at Kaya. Another counterpart will be Camille Rodriguez, a regular in the starting lineup of the national team. So it'll be a battle here between top strikers in the country.
So much quality to look ahead to in just a little bit. Outkast taking on Kaya. Don't go anywhere. It's the Philam Live 7's Football League on 5+. So glad you could join us at the McKinley Hill Stadium for the action between Kaya FC and last season's champions, Outkast. Jingham Lang and Claro Manzano joining you for this one. Should be a great game between a team that is currently undefeated going up against, of course, last season's champions. Should prove to be a cracker.
And that's the story so far. Will Kaya FC's ladies be able to carry on this undefeated run? Outkast, on the other hand, are still in it. They're just 6 points down, so this will really be a treat, especially given playoff implications.
Of course, top 8 move on into the quarterfinals. We are moving very quickly through the season. Already 6 matches, if I'm not mistaken, in the books. So halfway through the group stage.
And we saw an early warning shot right there, but not a problem at all for the keeper.
When you're looking at the lineup of these two teams, Claro, there are so many national team players present on the field right now. This is going to be a game of extreme quality.
Oh, I can't agree with you even more right there, Jing. You know, we've really seen the development of the sport year after year, and it looks like a national team scrimmage in a nutshell, we could say.
Ramores testing from way out there. Easy catch for the goalkeeper in the end, but both sides have been getting attempts on target very early on here.
And that's also the beauty of the 7-a-side game. The field is smaller, so we're gonna see more end-to-end action, and that could possibly pave way to more goals.
Kaya FC has been one of the clubs to look out for. So far this season, they're a newcomer into the competition, but as mentioned, they have been undefeated so far, and they've been banging in the goals as well, Claro, but off the post, they almost conceded there.
Well, you know, they say the woodwork could be your friend or your foe, and of course, it's a contrasting here.
Kyra Dimaantal there, getting it off the upright. That's the closest attempt so far. Well worked from Outkast.
You know, and we're just getting started. Jing is about 3 minutes into the game already, and we already had a close brush like that.
Early warning from the defending champions. A bit of pressure being shown there by Rodriguez. Ramores looking to center it. Danger averted here by Outkast, but only momentarily. Ramores cuts inside. Able to get a touch. Impelido keeps it alive for Kaya. And again, into the safe hands of the goalkeeper.
Well, as expected so far, Kaya's been dominating possession. That's something we've seen from them continuously so far into the season. So we expect Outkast to really be pouncing on the counter.
The stunt to long. She goes direct there, looking for Rodriguez. She's going to win a corner kick.
Yeah, well, you can say so far so good for Outkast in being able to contain the defense of Kaya. But again, time will tell because we are just in the early stages of this game.
Driven in there by Camille Rodriguez. Outkast, of course, have lost a few key individuals from their lineup. None more so than Let Dimzon, who is now the coach of Kaya FC, although not present for this particular matchup.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, still a treat given how Coach Let would also suit up for the team in the previous season of the Philam Life 7's Football League.
And people forget, Let Dimzon can still play.
Coach not just being a mentor, but also leading by example.
That's right.
I think Coach Let also found the back of the net in their final against Stallion Hiraya.
Toledo working her way forward. Nicely controlled there on the chest, and a nice back heel as well.
We've seen the improvement of Kyra Dimaandal through the years, because back then she'd be that type who really poach to get scoring opportunities, but she's now figured out how to link up with teammates with combinations up front.
Toledo able to poke it away. Rodriguez on the flank. Looked like Ramores was covered, but she's able to manufacture some space. The goalkeeper has been busy here early on.
Busy day for Erica Tortor. But one person maybe probably Coach Hans, as she's from Coach Hans's team in LaSalle.
Again, down low there by the keeper. Coach Hans actually on the sidelines. Second day as commissioner here at the 7's Football League. I'm sure he's a very interested audience member at the moment.
A fantastic control there by Camrod. One thing also, Jing, I've noticed with Kaya's, given their personnel, they can just go for a speedy lineup and all of a sudden they can put a target man up front.
Rodriguez laying it off there. Amores out on the wing. And that's going to be a throw-in deep into Outkast territory.
And the pressure continues, so only time will tell here how much longer will Outkast be able to contain this attack of Kaya.
Yeah, I've been conceding quite a bit of the ball to the opposition, but they have looked solid so far.
They've been composed and really knocking down those combinations.
And this one gets away. Toledo able to rescue it. But handball is called by the referee.
Well, the cons here of Kaya continuously being on the attack is that they could actually be caught on the counter.
Right, and Dimaantal showed very early on how that might play out.
But other than that, Dimaantal will have a a pretty uphill battle as she'll be up against Hailey Long.
We would like to remind everyone, non-participants,
Called it to action early there, Caparos.
please avoid crossing the middle of the
Another scare there at the back for Kaya.
And again, that's the second heart attack we've had already here from Outkast, hitting the woodwork earlier. It'll be really important for likes of Hailey Long to establish their presence in this game.
Please go around the stadium instead to reach your destination.
Rodriguez
Avoid passing the middle
looked like
of the
that
field.
was on a plate for Amores to tap in, but she missed the ball there.
Oh, konti na lang. Just a bit with timing, of course. We're about halfway through the season, so we've seen these girls start to get that understanding for each other. And lalo na, a lot of them are teammates with each other in the national team. A big plus for them in building that chemistry.
It seems there's been a slight change to Kaya. Ramona's taking a more central role now up top. Rodriguez pulling out wide to the right.
Thank you very much.
Rodriguez, normally the person up front, but she can dribble too, so won't be a problem there.
Across the face of goal. Outkast certainly very dangerous on the counter in transition.
So we have contrasting styles of play, but let's see which one will be able to prevail here. Again, we did mention the upsides, or the downsides rather, of dominating possession, but if you're the defensive team on the other hand, just one slip up could already lead to a goal.
Unable to keep that one in play.
We have a chance here now for Outkast with possession. Perhaps they could give Kaya a further run for their money if they could knock in those combinations, breaking down the defense. Looks like Shallow Hodges was also inserted to this game.
Kaya shuffling their lineup, it seems. Hodges all alone! What a stop there. Had to get down quickly to her left.
And talk about the control right there, but also great reflexes from Erica Turtur nonetheless. And you see that the impact the substitute Shallow Hodges just inserted to the game and immediately made her mark.
Impelido touching it over to Hailey Long. Assessing her options. Tried to blast it there from distance, just wide of the post.
Well, credit there also from Outkast for managing to stay compact. Forcing Hailey Long to take a shot like that. Not a trouble at all for their keeper in Turtur.
She's been very busy, but she's been equal to the test. Every time the ball has been on target. Looks like there's going to be a timeout called here early. So a short break. We'll be right back with the action here on 5+. Back from the timeout here. Kaya versus Outkast, still 0-0. Kaya FC able to hold on to possession and dictate the tempo of the match, but Outkast have been looking threatening on the break. They've come closest, hitting the crossbar, or rather the upright, through Dima Antal. Meanwhile, Erica Turtur has been busy in between the sticks for Outkast, but she's been equal to every challenge to her goal.
And so far so good. Outkast, they've been able to get those opportunities as a result from their stingy defense. But again, that could prove to be a liability sitting back for a good amount of time.
Nice touch there. Toledo standing up. Looking to switch the play. That's cut out. Here come Outkast. Running into Hailey Long, who wins that battle. And now it's the women in yellow.
Talk about a transition here. Had some speed by KFC.
Sigh of disappointment from Ramones. Toledo. Bit of a physical challenge there, and then able to block that one.
All right, moving on with our last set of youth.
And this is that end-to-end action we're talking about, Jing. Outkast had an attacking opportunity, and Kaya is quickly making the transition, looking to bombard the other side.
Field B,
You see Outkast, how dangerous they can be. On the break, it was Alessa Dolino who was looking for room for a shot. And that's the beauty of 7's football, as you said, Claro. End-to-end action can be expected all throughout the contest.
And as a result from that end-to-end, again, we could see more goals. And another interesting thing is that limit in terms of fouls.
That's right. So far, we haven't seen too many, but if you get to 6 fouls, you will concede a penalty. And it's not just any kind of penalty, it's a run-up penalty from the halfway line.
Speaking of those run-up penalties, pretty much how they do it in hockey and back then in the Major League Soccer.
Try to flick that one on, in behind, but nobody there in support.
Thank you very much.
You see, looks like Haley Long has been shifted to the midfield role, occasionally making those runs.
And there's been a change up front as well for Kaya. It seems Ramones has been withdrawn.
Well, you take a look at the bench of both squads, so they brought in a good number of personnel, so that could really inject some pace into this game.
Going long, makes the connection. Outkast not too far away there.
Yeah, it was a gutsy challenge right there by Caparos, charging forward to limit the angles.
Outkast are getting very close to finding an opener.
Yeah, and that's another thing also. The momentum in the game can just change drastically, perhaps with one mistake or with just one break.
Looping efforts, not going to trouble Marian in goal. There is the confirmation. Tin Cleofe is the one that has come on for Nicole Ramores. Analu Amita now checking in for Cheska Toledo.
And we actually see a lot of familiar names. Amita, on the other hand, is the sister of Arnel.
Yeah, in attendance here somewhere in the stands in support of his sister. Also, of course, Arnel Amita, a player of KFC, the men's team.
You see, the sport of football is really in their blood.
Similar stature as well here. Analu, not very tall, but boy, with the ball at her feet, very impressive. It was a bullet pass from the throw-in.
And that seemed like a throw-in, Jing. Looked more like a free kick.
Dimantal stayed down after that aerial challenge with Haley Long. Certainly not favored in that matchup, Dimantal in the air.
Kaya not really known for her prowess in the air, but more of that type of player. He likes to keep the ball in her feet. Yeah, but fair play here for Kaya for stopping there. That's just one of the beauties also in football.
First touch on the ball for Analu.
And you see again, Kaya have been able to re-establish themselves, as we saw Outkast really pouncing earlier.
Ooh, crucial intervention there from Haley Long. If she had given the ball away, it was just Analu out back. Play breaks down for Kaya.
Well, again, Kaya continuously piling up the pressure, but Outkast holding on. Perhaps a little tightening up front would allow them to get that breakthrough goal in this game. Now, I'm pretty shocked myself that we've only had one foul so far in the overall by the tally we see.
Been a fluid affair here.
Yeah, but nonetheless, no goals after 18 minutes, but still some great action, especially with those close calls and the carjack moments.
Both sides have been getting their moments. Tempelido heading that one away. Lovely footwork to get away from Hodges. That was Shella Ninobla. It's always so much fun as well watching here at the McKinley Hill Stadium. You're so close to the action, Clara. You can really appreciate the skill required in these tight spaces.
Oh, it's definitely a treat. You know, when you get to see things at eye level, you pretty much get to see what the players and the referees are looking at themselves, because in a normal stadium setup, maybe you're a few stories above the players,
right,
and a completely different vantage point.
Dangerous moment there from the corner. Outkast able to clear. And of course, here in the Philippines, a lot of the stadiums have that track before the field, so there's a bit of distance if you are a spectator. Not over here.
You know, it's that traditional setup here. Something that's more common, you know, when you go outside of the Philippines. So, lovely setup we have here at the
Room
McKinley
to
Hill
fire
Stadium.
for Haley Long. Second attempt, straight into the hands of Turtur.
You know, right before that stop of Turtur, that's a great stop by Sheila. Positioning there, allowing them to come up with the denial.
Crossfield pass. Dimantal takes it down nicely. He's trying to nutmeg Ana Luamita there. She was alert to the danger.
And you can't just nutmeg someone like Ana Luamita, of course. Be a tough nut to crack.
And here is Amita.
Something we've noticed, Jing, Kyra de Mandal continues to hold on to her left arm.
Yeah, it seems to be bothering her a little bit. But when the ball's in her vicinity, the pain seems to disappear, Claro.
Oh yes, of course. You know, buwis buhay talaga just to find the back of the net, because a single goal could just spell the difference.
Oof! Far post delivery, unable to be converted.
You know, close one there with the cross of Agnes.
Looked like it was Hazel Lustan who was lurking there at the far post. Just needed a touch.
Left unmarked, almost made her defenders pay the price. So that would be a lucky break for Outkast.
Trying a piece of trickery on the sideline. This time stopped in her tracks was Ninobla. Touch was a bit loose stun on the ball now. Navaja. Left-footed attempt. It's cleared away.
Cleared away right there by the number 14. And that is Mea Bernal. And if you take a look at the numbers actually, Jing, in terms of goals forwarded, Kaya amassing 43 goals in 6 games. Talk about that firepower.
Opening goal scored here. Kaya FC able to convert. It's Impelido who finds the opener here for Kaya.
And that goes in the 22nd minute right now. We're about 3 minutes away from the halftime whistle. And a great way for Kaya to assert themselves, especially we are moments away from heading to the halftime break.
One of the best times to score and one of the worst times to concede is right before the break.
Well, of course, there's still some time for Outkast to pull one back. But of course, if you're Kai, you'd love to at least preserve this lead.
They've been knocking on the door. Finally, they've broken through here.
Spectators, please avoid passing closely to the middle of the field.
And again, that's the battle we continue to see between Kyra and Amita.
Thank you very much.
And that's a battle we expect to see in brew over the course of this match.
Caparos wasn't sure if that was on target or not. Better safe than sorry was her approach. Got a touch to it. It's going to be a corner kick.
And you talk about that rocket that was launched by Maya Bernal. That would have been, well, it would have been a screamer maybe, had that been on target.
A corner kick. Second opportunity. And that one just wide of the target.
And when content na lang here, you could say also for Outkast, they may not have enjoyed as much possession, but making the most of what they have. Well, we did mention the attacking power of Kaya earlier, but on the other hand, look at Outkast. They've notched 17 goals. That's still not a bad figure, considering they are fourth in the standings right now. They're deep into the playoff hunt.
Also one of the better defenses that we've seen so far in the Women's League.
Well, especially with these players like Dai Dolino and Maya Bernal.
Dangerous moment there at the back for the women in blue.
Yeah, another stroke of luck for them right there.
Oh, it was taken away. Come gets it out wide. Nice physical challenge there between the two.
You know, leading into that spell, that was some great pressure from Cam Rodriguez. Continuing to press, and they almost got the reward from their hard work to get the ball deep in their attacking third.
Alex Kamkam has been introduced for Kaya. She's applying the pressure on the back line.
You know, with a person like Kamkam, she just towers above everybody else. Perhaps that could allow them to get some headers in.
And there is the halftime whistle. Kaya FC finishing off the opening period with a 1-goal lead courtesy of Patrice Impelido. We'll be back with second half action.
Para sa akin, napakasaya kasi isa siya sa pinaka-legend na player sa buong mundo, of course. Siyempre, isa siyang modelo para sa mga bata at para sa akin.
So I joined a foreign exchange program in England in 1999. I could have chosen from Paris, Barcelona, other European countries, but I specifically chose England because of David Beckham. I was a football varsity player then. When I got to England, the first thing I did was walk into a sporting goods store and buy a Manchester United jersey. It was extra large, but I did not care because it was the last piece left. I still have that jersey to this day. So this, being able to actually play against him, dinipensahan ko siya kanina, walang nangyari. But yeah, this was amazing.
When you get so much influence because of a sport, what you do outside the field is even more important what you do inside the field, and he's been showing that he is actually making a difference outside the field. At least transmit something from the sport. I mean, the teamwork, the discipline, and the passion of it is for me, it's great. It feels like, I'm looking at myself being a dad here and bringing my girl to play football. So it's actually a bit emotional for me. It's kind of like probably the most important part of my life. And it's great that today I'm surrounded by kids because that's where I'm going now.
When stuff like the Philam Life 7, the 7's Football League, the more tournaments that you have, the more chances that you promote football, the bigger football becomes. So having this and seeing that there were not only boys playing a while ago, but little girls as well, it inspires them to continue to play football. It inspires them that football is for everyone. When you bring idols, big names such as David Beckham here to the Philippines, you give light to the fans who never thought that they would get the chance to meet their idol. And of course, for the sport, it does nothing but promote the sport even more, the sport that we all love.
Welcome back to the Philam Life 7's Football League. Second half action underway here between Kaya FC and Outkast. 1-goal lead for the women in yellow, courtesy of a goal from Patrice Impelido, able to score from a corner kick, and that was very late in that first half, and so far that is the difference here against the defending champions Outkast. Jingam Lang and Claro Manzano calling the action here. It's been a wonderful spectacle between these two teams.
Well, you know, the script so far has been Kaya dominating possession, but Outkast also getting their fair share of opportunities, but this time on the counter.
Able to hit the upright, has forced a couple saves from Marian Caparos, but no breakthrough for the defending champions quite yet.
Well, but you could say also that both keepers have been relatively busy today, given that end-to-end action we are seeing.
Speaking of goalkeepers, Nick Adlawan has checked in for Kaya FC. Ina Palacios not in action today for Kaya FC.
You know, now the pressure will be on Adlawan to keep that clean sheet for them.
A bit of a shuffle as we start this second. Marty Bautista is in the match as well for Kaya. And here she is on the ball. The goal scorer, Impelido, spreading that one out to Haley Long. Long ball forward is going to go well over.
It's not a bother at all right there. It's interesting here actually that Bernal will be taking this goal kick.
Taken away. Long trying to cross that one into the danger zone. Lost her footing in the pivotal moment.
You know, Long making that run was just pressured by everyone else from Outkast. Hence, she just gave away possession like that. Perhaps they would have liked to, keep the ball down and knock in those combinations.
It's a good ball forward there from Bernal. And nobody home for Outkast. Definitely got the distance on it.
Well, again, Jing, the pitch that we have here for the 7-a-side tournament is much smaller.
Amita ran into some blue traffic in the middle. Did Impelido. Wonderful distribution there from Bernal.
Oh, great stop by Kaya right here, but nonetheless, that was a promising spell also for Outkast.
Trying to work their way out of trouble, but unable to do so there, Kaya. So it's ball back to Outkast. We're enjoying a bit more of the ball here, Claro, to start off the second.
You know, Outkast, they've been dangerous again, giving a couple of warning shots throughout this game on the counter. But what more, Jing, if they could create chances of their own and breaking down the Kaya defense, that can give them more options to score up front and possibly pull off an upset.
Amita with room to work. But you guys checked in for Kaya. They give up possession.
And that's an advantage you have in this Philam Life 7's Football League. We have flying substitutions.
So good with the ball at her feet there. So tricky, Shella Ninobla. Here she is once more.
You know, Shella earlier on the right wing is practically making things work on her own.
Rodriguez taking matters into her own hands there. Dropping back from the forward position to win possession. We're flying down the right flank now. Might have gotten a touch from the keeper. Corner kick is the decision of the referee.
And that was a scary ball that was put in place, going right in front of the goal mouth. Outkast getting that stop, but they still have to deal with this corner.
Delivery headed away by Bernal.
Again, Bernal has been that cornerstone of their defense, so of course we'll need to see more of that from her if they'd like to they'd like to get a chance in perhaps pulling off an upset here. And then again, Kaya still undefeated.
Header was on target, just lacked the power.
And given that lack of power, not much trouble at all for Erica Turtur.
Great defending. Analu Amita.
She's just forcing Dai Dolino to dance.
Pass out there from Adlawan. Getting Kaya into a bit of trouble. Outkast piling on the pressure in this one.
And it looks like that was Jovel Sodaria was making that run through the center earlier.
Long throw. Headed away by Long. Outkast getting into a dangerous position. Side netting. This is much better though from the defending champions.
Oh, definitely. You see, these girls are banking on their experience. Kaya, of course, the stronger team on paper, but Outkast starting to take matters to their own.
Work in the triangle. Passing is nice and crisp. They went long there. Amita able to snuff out the danger. Ball still in play.
And again, Jing, you're seeing that shift in momentum. Outkast enjoying some possession. It's Kaya now we see on the counter.
Amita, that's off target. Wonderful exchange from the trio. Rodriguez, Bautista, and Amita converting defense to attack in a blink of an eye there.
Yeah, talk about the chemistry right there. I was well placed. Yeah, we're just in the 32nd minute, so still much action.
Bautista looking to utilize her pace. Second defender is there to work out the trouble.
And that's something Bautista also brings in. Injecting pace on the wing. That's something Marty's come to be known for. Suiting up for Ateneo and the Philippine women's national team also.
Xiaotong shadowing her. Cross was released, but nobody was there.
And a lovely find right there for Dolino. Dolino's more, or came to be known as a defender, but she's been utilized more in the front in this game.
Bernal working her way all the way into the final third. It was a great exchange there on the left side. A real talent for Outkast and the national team.
You know, again, Jing, it's like we're watching a national team scrimmage. Talk about the level we are seeing here.
It's a real joy to watch, Claro. And for those who are unfamiliar with the Philippine women's team, it's a wonderful preview to see the kind of talent and the level of quality that they can bring into every contest.
Yeah, and speaking of a preview, let's not forget the women's national team will be suiting up in the Southeast Asian Games.
And over the last few tournaments, they've been getting better and better.
And of course, the girls are coming off as semi-finalists in the AFF Women's Championships. A good indicator for Philippine football.
And for everyone who's familiar with the players and the staff of the women's team, you know how excited they are about being able to host the Southeast Asian Games and to be able to play in Binyan in front of the home fans. Ooh, that went off the upright from the throw-in.
And you can just see Erica Turtur right there in disbelief over what happened. Another close. And that was another close call earlier.
Amita taking it away. She's got room to work. Analu assessing her option, gets it to Kamkam, and that's a reflex save from Erika Tortur.
Wow, talk about the run there of Amita. Just running through the defense and eventually made them pay for giving her a small amount of space, hence leading into this scoring opportunity.
She's been a real calm figure at the back for Kaya since coming on. And you can see she's dangerous going forward as well. Impelido, that one's over.
You know, right in that corner, you can see Alex Kamkam telling Lustan to play it high, given an obvious height advantage she has.
Timeout called here. Short break in the action. We'll be right back. Fresh from the break, Outkast restarting the action here against Kaya FC. So glad you could join us on 5 Plus for the Philam Live 7's Football League. Jing Amlang and Claro Manzano calling the action here at the McKinley Hill Stadium. Still a slight advantage for Kaya FC, just the 1 goal so far. Outkast looking pretty dangerous here in the second. And meanwhile, Kaya have had an opportunity to hit the crossbar from the upright rather, from one of the most unlikely sources, from a throw-in.
You know, we had earlier there, Jing. So Erika Tortur just in disbelief over what happened in that throw-in. A really close call. And I think earlier we saw Kaya, on the other hand, the woodwork was their friend in the first half. Outkast with an attempt, it came off.
Let's remember, in the 7's Football League, there are no draws. So this goal is certainly not safe, or this lead rather is not safe for Kaya if Outkast are able to score and tie things up. If we reach the end of regulation with the score tied, we will see extra time and potentially penalties.
And in extra time, teams have about 5 minutes to pick up a golden goal. And if they do not, we'll carry on with the face-off penalty, which is something we really come to appreciate and has given us a true treat.
Outkast methodically working their way forward from the back.
And we are really poised here for a thrilling finish. Outkast getting their bearings in this game and have had some opportunities to build up from the back. It's been mainly Kaya pouncing on the counter as of late.
Long switch in the play. Ramones gets that one into the middle, and Alex Kamkam able to tap that one in. Kaya FC go 2-0 ahead.
The right place right there for Alex Kamkam. We talk about the control. Getting that in with 1 touch. Kamkam unmarked on the back post.
And here come wholesale changes for Kaya. Alex Kamkam amongst those heading back to the substitutes area. Job done for her.
And now when you take a look at the front line of Kaya, looks like they put in all their speedy players up front.
Sigh of relief from Coach JP Merida, who is leading the charge for Kaya FC in this one. No let Dimzon on the sideline. 1 goal advantage wasn't safe. Now he's got a bit of a cushion to work with.
They may have that cushion, of course, but if Outkast could just pull one back, that could spice things up further. As again, Jing, we will need a winner in today's match, given the format of the Philam Live 7's Football League.
And still plenty of time to work with. Roughly 10 minutes or so for Outkast to find their way back into this match.
And then again, do not underestimate the heart of the reigning champions.
Oh! What a goal! That was from way out. Hit the crossbar, spun into the net. And just like that, Outkast have halved the advantage.
Yeah, that was what we were talking about from Dai Dolino. Talk about the control there.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic stuff. Again, she's normally a defender, but she's been involved in the attack It's part of their game plan today.
So this fresh unit for Kaya are gonna have to get themselves out of trouble, or at least preserve this 1-goal advantage that they still have. But game on, Claro. It's gonna be a crazy finish to this game.
Yeah, everybody better hang on to their seatbelts here, especially with the way we saw that end-to-end action.
Cleofe able to win the corner kick. No, goal kick is given. Thought I saw differently.
You know, just an interesting thing to point out, that is just the 4th goal that Kaya FC have conceded so far in this campaign. But today won't be a clean sheet for them. But then again, they don't really have to worry about staying on top of the table. What the name of the game now is to get into the top 8, and it'll be back to 0 come the quarterfinals.
Working their way into the middle. Hodges. That one's cut out.
And great coordination there by Outkast.
That one just a bit far. Too far ahead of the intended target.
Well, you take a look at the scoreboard, and it's 2-1, of course, for Kaya. But perhaps in the terms of momentum, you could say it has shifted to the girls in blue.
Strong challenge in the air there. Dimantal stays down. Took a bit of contact on the back. Referee thought it was clean. Not the first time Dimantal has been on the wrong end of an aerial challenge.
You know, we saw Kaya earlier get her left arm injured. She is holding on to her elbow, in fact. And her left arm is bandaged. That may bother her a bit in this game.
Fake the shot. Kaya in a bit of trouble here at the back. And there it is! Equalizing goal! Dimantal able to sneak that one into the corner. Outkast back level.
You know, that's 2 goals in a span of about 4 minutes. And again, the girls from Outkast clearly pouncing on the momentum that they have. And I was mentioning earlier, Jing, that bandage on her arm may bother her, but that does not seem the case at all.
What bandage, Claro? She doesn't even feel it.
You know, great toughness there by the former member of the DLSU women's football team.
Swift changes for Kaya. Amita back, Long, Empelido, Rodriguez, and Lustan in the mix. It seems only Hodges being left in from the previous unit. Tortur cutting that one out.
You know, tight angle right there. Tortur getting the near post covered easily.
See a slight press here being employed by Kaya.
And you'll come to look at it, this may be the closest game that Kaya has had as of late. You know, undefeated again, Outkast. They've had to head back to the drawing board twice already, as that's the number of defeats they took in 6 matches.
You mentioned earlier that prior to this match, Kaya had only conceded 3 goals. Well, Outkast have already gotten 2 against them, and they almost got a 3rd. Adlawan behind that one.
And a great dive right there to read that shot. Again, this will be a corner here.
Over the crowd in the middle. Will sail harmlessly out for a throw in.
Again, the time continues to tick. We're just about 5 minutes away. We've seen a good number of matches for KFC. Finish one-sided, of course, in favor of the girls in yellow. Let's see if they'll be able to handle this pressure. A close-fought game. This will be a whole different test to see if they could deliver in crunch time.
And it's a chance to see a different dynamic from this team. They've been front runners, as you mentioned. Now it's a test of character here being handed to them by Outkast.
There's always that different vibe whenever you see a team trying to keep up that undefeated run.
Oof. Haley Long. Long distance effort, just wide of the post.
You know, Haley Long trying to make her presence felt. Well, she is. She is that main person at the back for them, looking to help out in the fray.
That's at least the third shot from Haley Long. She does possess the power from range.
You talk about control also in that shot.
Whistle blown here by the referee. Looks like he's going to take a moment here to discuss. I believe he's blown the full-time whistle here, but there looks like there's 5 minutes left. Claro, might have been a slight mix-up with his watch. He went over to confirm with the commissioner, Coach Hans Smith. And he's been told what we know, which is there should be roughly 3 minutes to play in regulation. So we're back underway. Lustan takes it away. Rodriguez, tight angle. And Pelido, unable to sort out her feet. Lustan. Anna Lou, that one's gonna go well over the target.
Very dangerous there. He found all members of Outkast, including their striker, to track all the way back to make sure they get the stop. But on the other side, you see Kaya. They had a very long spell of possession. Great stuff there and being able to keep possession.
Gotta love the effort being shown by the defending champions, crowding out Impelido, who had drifted into a very dangerous area. Adlawan called into action, comes out to collect, safe hands from the keeper.
There's some space right there, but well covered by Amita. They're keeping her back as the lone defender for now.
Ramores, that one's gonna get away from her.
And what's another thing to point out, Jing, is that given that this is a 7-a-side game, we have no offside, so some strikers could perhaps take advantage of that, or cherry pick.
Amita got committed to the challenge there. Timed it perfectly. Long ball for Impelido. Connected with a header. Just couldn't get enough on it to direct it towards goal.
And talk about the switch there. Finding the running Impelido. Impelido taking advantage of that space again, reading the defense very well.
Demantal. Double team. Runs out of real estate. Could be a last play here for Kaya.
So Demandal was clearly marked there. Counterpart 3 having her number.
Launched forward. Nobody there for Outkast. Rodriguez skips away. And that's just blasted forward by Haley Long.
Now we've seen Camille Rodriguez shift over to the right wing. Earlier we saw her on the left in that recent spell of possession.
Whistle's already in the mouth of the referee. There can't be much time left. Rodriguez skips away. The whistle is blown. And it looks like there's going to be a warning given to the official, or no? Is it full time here? And are we going to see an extra period? Official conferring with fellow officials on the sideline.
And you know, nonetheless, given a slight confusion right here, we are poised for a really thrilling ending, whether we had to just extra time or penalties.
While we sort things out, short break in the action here at the McKinley Hill Stadium. When we return, it's going to be the conclusion between Kaya and Outkast. Here we go. 5 minutes to decide this one between Kaya and Outkast. They're deadlocked, 2 goals apiece. Outkast able to claw their way back into contention in this match. Kaya looked en route to a 7th straight victory here in the 7's Football League, but not so fast, said Outkast. Golden goal is the rule during extra time. If still no goals scored after 5 minutes, we will see penalties.
And a great
Early
show.
warning.
You gotta love the urgency that both teams are putting in. It's all or nothing right now here.
It's been quite a game, Claro. Lots of quality on the pitch, and you can see that nobody wants to give an inch.
Nobody wants to give an inch, and right now it's all down to this. Now again, much on the line. Kaya's 100% record right here is at stake. So that-
Impelido and Kam had given the lead to Kaya FC. Turned back by goals from Dolino and Dimantal. Chance here for Kaya. And that one into the back of the net from the corner. Haley Long able to win it for the women in yellow.
You know, throughout this game, we saw Haley Long really trying to help out with the offense despite playing at the back. She's been very cautious and has launched those long shots. And talk about the timing here, delivering when it matters the most.
The defending champions have been defeated, but it wasn't easy for Kaya FC. They were pushed to the limit, but they delivered in extra time. A 7th straight victory for Kaya FC. So glad you could join us for this match on 5+. We'll catch you for more Philam Live 7's Football League.